Thank you, Jen. Bon matin tout le monde. Welcome everyone to the First Unitarian congregation in Ottawa. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or watching from wherever you may be, know that you are welcome. I'm the Reverend Eric Meter, this congregation's lead minister.
And I'm Lisa, your worship associate this morning. We acknowledge that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin Anishinaabeg territory, and that the work of reconciliation is a responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all those who have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those at risk, and to advocate for justice.
This morning's Ingathering service will have an order to it that is not the same as our standard Sunday morning. If you've been around this or just about any Unitarian Universalist congregation, you'll have noticed that whatever our fiscal years are, our programming year reflects traditional school years. Today, we're kicking off a new church year together. Not yet. Here, read that.
Okay. To accommodate our younger ones, we'll hold off on announcements for a bit. Maybe not just our younger ones. And we'll be inviting everyone forward shortly to bring forward water from someplace special to you to fill our joys and sorrows bowls. The water that ripples outward with our care and support. But now, let us begin by joining our voices in song. Please rise as you are willing and able and sing Come, Come Wherever You Are, hymn number 188 in our gray hymnal.
This one's going to be a cappella, and we're having some choristers that are kind of come up to the front and just to help out a little bit. We're going to sing this one in a round. So that means the first time we're going to sing it all together the whole way through. The second time, our groups are rather unbalanced here, aren't they? If you're on this side of Worship Hall, great. So if you're on this side of Worship Hall, I would have said this line here, if anyone wants to defect to the other side, then you're going to start the second time through, or after we've sung it once all together. Everybody on this side of the room, you're going to start second, so I'll bring you in. And if you're confused, you can look at these wonderful choir members who will help you by coming in at the right spots. All right. Here we go, but once all together. So ready and come, come, whoever you are, wonder, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, come, whoever
To begin this morning's reflection on the possibilities of community, expanding from that round, we light our chalice this morning to these words of welcome adapted from those by Monica Jacobson Tennyson. Welcome. What you bring, who you are, enriches us all. We say welcome to your joy, your hope, your pride. We say welcome to your grief, your fear, your anger. And the parts of you that are not yet ready to be seen and heard, welcome to them as well. For we are people of faith, faith in our expansive welcome, in our ability to grow, faith in the precious gift of our truths, faith in the promise of trying, learning, changing, faith in our capacity to know ourselves and each other ever more deeply. Welcome to you who are human. Welcome to you who love. Welcome to you who are blessed, which is all of us. May this time together be a blessing. The fans are working overtime this morning, so we're going to be direct here. And hope for the best. Our chalice is lit. Come, let us worship together. To start, a very brief little history lesson. 43 years ago this autumn, women from across this continent gathered to connect and worship together. And without intending it, a new practice of our faith was born. As was said at that gathering,
making our way like rivers from places distant and near, we come together to give shape to a new spirituality. For there is no current theology that calls women to strength rather than to support the strength of others, that calls women to action rather than to passivity, that calls women to full expression. So we come together to question, to hear, to share, to speak, to inspire, and to celebrate through new rituals, knowing that our energy and our love are transforming. Celebrating now our connectedness, we choose water as our symbol of our empowerment. As rivers in cycle release their waters and regain new beginnings, so do we cycle. For us as women, these beginnings are powerful, but not easy. But still, we come to create and to celebrate and to live by the only spirituality worthy of our devotion, a spirituality that uplifts, empowers, and connects. The water ceremony was born, and if you'll allow me to mix my metaphors, it caught fire. Women loved the ritual and brought it back to their home communities with them. Soon, many of our congregations were using it as a way to gather again after leisurely and informal summer months. Today, we follow suit, bringing forward water from places special to us, water that represents our homes and our hopes. Later in our time together this morning, this water will be used during our time honoring of joys and sorrows we carry with us. And then after the water has been purified, it will be used in future child dedications. Sorry. So now please come forward, and you can also raise your hand to ask somebody to bring your water forward on your behalf. And Jen will be playing while we do so. I'm going to invite you to come forward so that your offering will start off. So please come forward to put water in the vessels at the front. Let these bowls of shared water remind us that we are connected to each other by love and need and hope. The safety and well-being of this community and the larger world depend on the goodwill and dedicated efforts of each of us.
Thank you, Lisa. Jody, we've got a story to share, huh? Do you want to introduce it?
Good morning. Good morning. So our book today is called Wish, and it's by Chris Saunders. And Reverend Eric and I are going to enjoy reading it together.
I play a rabbit. Once a year, wishes take flight, filled with hope and twinkling light. They dance in the air with a swirl and a swish. You have to be ready to be chosen by a wish. Rabbit was amazed as wishes danced and rose. Then all of a sudden, one landed on his nose. 2 more wishes fell at his feet. Now he had 3. Oh, what a treat! Rabbit had never caught a wish before. He could not decide what to wish for. So off Rabbit went with a hop and a swish to ask his friends what to do with a wish. Rabbit asked Mouse, "What would you wish for?" His friend climbed up on the woodland floor and said,
The world is big, and I feel so small. I wish I could fly and see it all.
Rabbit looked at the sky. What would they see? And he thought to himself, is this wish for me? So off Rabbit went with a hop and a swish to ask his friends what to do with a wish. Rabbit asked Fox, what would you wish for? Wondering what his friend had in store.
I wish I could write stories everyone would admire, books of knowledge and hope and power to inspire.
Rabbit imagined Fox's stories running like that. How exciting they would be. And he thought to himself, is this wish for me? So off Rabbit went with a hop and a swish to ask his friends what to do with a wish. Rabbit asked Bear, what would you wish for? As Bear watched the waves roll up on the shore.
I have traveled over the mountains and climbed every rock and tree, but I wish I had a boat to explore the open sea.
Rabbit wondered about rowing and how strong Bear must be, and he thought to himself, is this wish for me? And now, still never having made a wish before, he finally asked himself, what would I wish for? He wished for the small to feel uplifted and tall. I wish for inspiration to wash over us all. I wish for a world filled with spirit and adventure that we can enjoy and live in together. So Rabbit granted his friends' wishes, 1, 2, and 3. Then he suddenly realized there are none left for me.
Thank you, Rabbit, for being so kind. We have something to say, if you don't mind.
By noticing me, you helped me feel tall, treating me as your equal even though I am small. So if you find yourself lost, forgotten, or alone, just look to the sky and I will guide you home.
Thanks to you, I am busy writing, creating amazing stories, so wonderfully exciting. I have been inspired by your selfless deed. Please choose a story you wish me to read. I finally have a boat with which I can explore over the horizon beyond the sandy shore. But before I go, there is something you should see. If you have a moment, please come with me.
Bear asked Rabbit to close his eyes as he had a special surprise.
It is never too late to go on an adventure. Thanks to you, little rabbit, we can all go together.
Let's go together. And now let us sing our young ones off as they go together for other fun, exciting, and meaningful activities. Please join with me in singing them out.
Now that those young ones who wished to go are on their way to other activities this morning, let us resume our time together this morning. As health challenges continue, do take care and take advantage of online opportunities at FirstU to stay in touch. If you are new to FirstU and would like to learn more about us, please contact us through our email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. And if you are right here in Worship Hall with us this morning and would like more information, it is available at the welcome table at the back of the pews, and Dory is there to answer any questions you may have. And now here's Amy from our board to highlight announcements for today. Amy?
Thanks, Lisa. Good morning, everybody. So my first announcement is about the fish fry. So good. It's from our pledge team. So that was put on by our pledge team, and it was great, delicious. There's still time to make your pledge, your early bird pledge. So submit it before the campaign starts. You can look online on the website, or you can get a piper from the volunteer room, which I believe is right over there. Help the campaign get off to a good start by pledging early. Our second announcement is from Child Haven. So they're doing a fundraising dinner Saturday, September 16th, so that would be next Saturday in Fellowship Hall. Come out and support this worthy cause. Tickets are going to be on sale after service, I'm assuming in Fellowship Hall. They're $75 for adults, $25 for children, cash or check only, so no credit cards. And, oh, never mind. The next line says, if you want to pay by credit card, go to the Child Haven website. And then the third announcement has to do with FirstU's own annual fundraiser, the Fall Fair. It will be this year on November 18th. This year we'll be able to accept more donations than last year. We had a scaled down one last year because of COVID. So be sure to check the EUU for the list of donations or the donation page on the website, which has just been updated. And now I will ask Donna Bowen-Willer to come and do the announcement for the Environmental Action Group.
Hi, everybody. So click on the climate action page today. There's new good news items, and there's new upcoming events, and there's now a box actually today at the back of the church for our flexible coffee bags. It'll normally be in the office, sort of where the seated area is now, the volunteer things. So bring in your flexible coffee bags. We've already got a good start. But the most exciting, Friday is the big day, so there'll be thousands across the world. Thanks, Amy. There'll be thousands across the world joining this, so support the Ottawa youth at Fridays for Future. Strike to demand a rapid, just, and equitable phase-out of fossil fuels. It's 1 p.m. on Parliament Hill. So we're sort of planning to be west side, kind of in the middle. Look for the banner, which has FirstU on it. David Hudson's going to be wearing his Canada hat, which is quite tall, and David's tall, so you should be able to find him west side middle. Find me at coffee hour, and I will give you Margaret's cell phone number just in case you can't find us. Don't get lost like we did at the Pride Parade, and see if you can find the FirstU group. And see Mike for more signs. And if there are any more volunteers for marshals, Mike said he could stand those. So Mike's here today as well. The EAG is going to be there. Hope you'll be there too. Bring your kids and your grandkids. It's in honor of them. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. And I have one more announcement on behalf of all of us. Somebody in our midst is celebrating 25 years as a minister with the Unitarian Universalist Association, our very own Reverend Eric. So thank you oh, look, and we have a present for you. Thank you very much for everything. Wow. Yeah, wait a second. That was my next thing. I've already signed it. So there's also a caring card for Reverend Eric at the back that just is celebrating this momentous occasion. Wow, 25 years. I haven't done anything for 25 years except for breathe. Good for you. All right. And now we move on. We encourage you to sign up and receive our EUU, the weekly newsletter. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages and our website for notices and updates. Our calendar continues to be as full as it ever was before COVID, just some stuff in person and some stuff online. This morning, each of us is welcome. We, of all heritage and faith, of all culture or race, of any gender or orientation, in any body, all that we are, today, we are all part of this community.
Thank you, Amy and Donna. Our reading this morning is by Victoria Stafford. When we talk about hospitality here, about radical hospitality that goes to the very root of who we are as a gathered religious community and what we're called to be, we mean that we will welcome not only each person, whoever they are, whatever their gifts, whatever their needs, but each person in his or her wholeness, his or her holiness. A holiness which may in fact, in any moment, be full of holes and contradictions, full of fear and brokenness and doubts. Come in, we say, not just in the full flower of your thriving, but in your loneliness, confusion, anger, shame, despair, the unfinished, imperfect, holy wholeness of your being. Come in not only with your all apparent accomplishments and strengths, but with those pesky vulnerabilities. These may in fact be revelations. They may be glimpses of whatever humanity we share. This house will hold them all, will hold us all.
Thank you, Lisa, Amy, Brent. It's a lovely thing receiving cake that I can't get into immediately. Cake for a diabetic, how wonderful. How do you think I got to be diabetic? Cake at church. Bring it on. We'll enjoy it together in a few minutes. How to get your minister off topic on a Sunday morning. Earlier, Lisa and I summarized our water ceremony's origin story. Like lighting a chalice flame at the start of our times together, this is a grassroots religious ritual. There's nothing official or top-down about it. It's a living thing, and it will last as long as it needs to last, and then it will evolve or die or change into something else. And over the 40-some years that we've had the water ceremony, in many of our congregations, the request to bring water from someplace special has had an unintended consequence, especially in congregations where fewer people gather to worship. There was time to say where you brought your water from. And in doing so, the unintended consequence was that a sort of game of vacation escalation came about. Who went to the most exotic locale, the farthest away? Subtle acts of competition, even subtle acts, really don't serve what we want to be about. And so, I don't know where the water you brought came from. I'm curious, I'd like to know, but in the end, it doesn't matter. It came from you. It came from places that mattered to you, whether it's the kitchen faucet or the river or the lake by the cottage, doesn't matter. It's brought here together. Look at the water before us now. And for those in the back, it may be a little more difficult to do. I don't know who brought what anymore. Can you tell? And the water you brought had little different impurities than the water I brought, and now it's all there together. And in a few moments, when I'm done yakking, we'll put some stones in it and we'll watch the ripples go. And then after that, probably later this afternoon, I'll have taken it home and I'll boil it for a good long time so that we can use it for child dedications later on. None of the water that we brought is any better than water anybody else brought. Community is the same. We're always more than the sum of the parts. Here, our intentions and hopes, our concerns and our needs become bound together. Even in small ways, some of those concerns hopefully are, and I trust that they are, soothed. Questions are answered, and we're not held in judgment. There's no judgment of who brought what water this morning. In the long-standing pageant of humanity, little, if anything, is new under the sun, and that's one of the reasons that the water ceremony is so perfect for us. Water smooths down stone over time. It exists, it flows, it rises, it returns. Together, we are more than any of us could be alone. Remember what Bear said, and I'm not going to be able to mimic Bear's voice. What Bear said in our story earlier, it's never too late to go on an adventure. Thanks to you, little rabbit, we can all go together. May the waters we have merged this morning and brought forward remind us that we are all in this together and that there is still space for what others may yet bring. And now there are three things I want to bring to our collective attention this morning. The first is that this summer, our siblings in faith south of the border chose to move forward with a report on revising their core theological foundations. We often speak of our shared values. Well, no, I'll get to that in a minute. We have principles and purposes. They're up on the banner just to Music Jen's left. And I can see that something's written on them, but maybe she can read them. I'm not asking you to read them off, Jen. I've got notes here, but there's a lot of words, and it's hard to read unless you're really, really close. They're also in the hymnals, the gray hymnals at the beginning, if that's easier for you and you're curious. But to summarize them, they begin, we, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and to promote the inherent worth and dignity of each person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, acceptance of one another, and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. We're about halfway through. A free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. Two more now. The goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And finally, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. And of course, here in Canada, within the last couple years, we have added an eighth principle, that of striving to be aware of and to work to dismantle systems of belief, actions, and structures that promote inequality and racism. And backing up a bit now, there's another point that needs to be made. We often, you've heard me say this, I am sure, we often talk about Unitarian Universalist values, but nowhere are they officially listed, written out, described. And you can say, well, that's to us to say what our values is, and there's truth to that, but wouldn't it be stronger to at least have something that we all agree to as our values? This is what the proposed revision in the Unitarian Universalist associations, and I should say that's the denomination in the States. We're separate but related to them. This is what they are promoting, and I'm reading this off. There's a graphic that goes along with it. The graphic was not going to appear very well on the screen. So listen carefully. We'll be talking about these in time to come. Section C-2.2, Values and Covenant. As Unitarian Universalists, we covenant congregation to congregation and through our association to support and assist one another in our ministries. We draw from our heritages of freedom, reason, and hope and courage, building on a foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Inseparable from one another, I continue, these shared values are interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. We covenant, the document concludes, to use our time, wisdom, attention, and resources, financial resources, money, to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. And while that does speak to our faith tradition as I see it understood and lived out these days, I'm not sure that language will last the 40 or so years of its predecessors. I wonder if it's not specific enough, but we'll see. I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't expect to be around 40 years from now. In any case, ours is a dynamic faith. Expressions of it will change while the core carries on. I should add that this proposal was brought forward at the Unitarian Universalist Association's General Assembly this last June. Please note that I said moved forward. The group, the Article 2 Study Commission, offered this proposal, and the delegates voted to accept it and to consider it. A final vote for official adoption is planned for next summer. Unitarians are deliberate people, appropriately so. You may have noticed that one value is not among the 6 that I listed off, and that's gratitude. Yet this is something very much at the heart of who we are and what we strive to embody. And now to point 2. Did you know that this congregation has its very own, specific to us, book of gratitude? It displays the names of financial contributors to the congregation for a variety of particular projects. A family donation, a very generous donation, was dedicated to creating it, and it includes beautiful calligraphy and a handsome display case that houses it. However, it was locked in a glass case, and at that locked away, only 2 pages were visible at any time. And also, it was back there in the pew just behind Carmen. There's a little nook that I think had originally been intended for wheelchair access, and it often hindered passage, folks coming in and out of Fellowship Hall. The donors, and we in leadership, would like that book to be more widely available, more widely accessible. So we've moved it to the new created seating area in our main office, where you are welcome to peruse the book. Now, it may sound odd to move something out of our corporate worship hall into the office wing to make it more accessible, but it will be. It was sort of in a dark corner before, and now it's right across, it's better lit, it's right across from a new couch and coffee area table. The case is now unlocked. And on Sunday mornings, we're going to open the glass case. You can go, either using your fingers or the white cotton gloves that archivists just love for the old books, to open the pages and look whose names. Your name's there, your name's there, your name's there. You can look at the book, and we'll be adding to it annually from here on out. With all that in mind, today seems a fitting time also to return to how we engage with one another, the foundation of who we are and have to offer our wider community. Just as that is now more accessible, it's time to speak of another founding document of this community. I'm speaking of something I don't know if I've preached on before, our congregation's relational covenant. To speak to it and to lead us in speaking it together, I'd like to invite members of our congregation's Right Relations team to come forward at this time. Jennifer Reed, Lisa Boulay, Marlene Gerber, please come forward.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marilyn. It's Marilyn Gerber. I'm the co-chair of the Right Relations team. We've talked a lot today about values and covenants, and we are going to make it short and let us know who we are and why we're here today. As the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa, we are an inclusive, welcoming, and safe space in which we value each other's and everyone's contributions and opinions. We recognize, however, that we won't always get on together, and we will not always be of the same mind and the same opinion. However, the health of a congregation or a community does not depend on conflict, but how it's managed. We, over the past few years, I guess it was pre-pandemic, were asked to work together with the congregation to develop, as Reverend Eric said, the relational covenant. And that is basically taking our principles and putting them into behavioral actions. How do we interact with each other, and how do we resolve conflicts when they do happen? We had multiple inputs with all of you over those years, and I've lost track of the years due to the pandemic, but we had breakfast forums, we had meetings, services, and whiteboards at the back. You all contributed to it. It is your relational covenant. We just edited it and did the written part of the work. We adopted it, the board adopted it in 2020, I believe. Convocation. Yeah, the covenant. And we are very happy to have it, and we're going to read it all together shortly, but we just wanted to, I think we were introduced, Lisa Boulay, Marilyn Gerber, and Lena Jones. We were tasked over the past few years to be the Right Relations team, who are a group of trained volunteers. Most of us have mental health backgrounds. And there are brochures in the, I think at the welcoming table, of how to access us and what we can do. We see our role right now, we've been discussing it over the past year, as relational covenant coaches. So we are kind of here to provide education about conflicts, how to deal with it. We're not the relational police, which is what I have said all along. And that's why sometimes I don't even like our name, but we have chosen it for historic reasons because people know what it is. So, have we got that on the screen, the relational covenant? Sorry, I stepped back. I turned my head. Oh, here we are. Can you all see that? If you feel comfortable, please read along with us. We're going to read the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa Relational Covenant. I will strive to honor our congregational covenant and the principles of Unitarian Universalism by speaking for myself with honesty, being aware of how my words and actions may affect others, listening, assuming good intentions, remembering that people differ in their perceptions, previous experience, and communication styles, interacting respectfully, acknowledging other people's views, and confirming my understanding of what is being said, speaking directly to a person with whom I disagree rather than about them, engaging a third party to mediate if needed, following through with my actions on my promises and commitments, serving as I am able with my time, talents, and treasures, celebrating our diversity by ensuring that all feel welcome and included. Thank you.
Thank you all. This is what we're here to do. It takes practice, it takes dedication, it keeps coming back to one another, coming back to the table. Together, we are more than any of us could be alone. Jen? Each week we pause in our time together in recognition of both the joy and sorrows in our lives and across the globe. We honor our celebrations and challenging by placing a stone in a bowl of water. As the ripples extend outward, we can imagine them continuing out beyond the small bowl, out through and past our pews, out into the larger community at all. Lisa, will you help me? We have 3 stones of joy. This is a rare sports version to start us off. Coco Gauff. The fact that Canada defeated our neighbors to the south of the border to earn bronze in the FIBA Men's Basketball World Cup. That was the sports version. We're done with the sports version for now. We have a new story walk out in our meditation gardens. If you haven't been out, do take a look. And a stone of sympathy and care for Sharon, who is in the hospital late this week for long-needed medical procedures. She is now recovering back home. A stone for Roy and Marianne as they recover from COVID. A stone for this being World Suicide Prevention Day. And a stone for all those impacted by the earthquake in Morocco. Please come forward now to honor your joys and sorrows by placing a stone in either bowl of water. Please come forward. Caring card for Sharon is at the back of the hall at our welcome table, caring table, forgive me. Even if you don't know her, this is a way, your signature on her card for her, is a way for us to extend our care on behalf of those who have given so much to this community. I invite you now into a brief time of stillness and reflection. After several moments, Jen and our choir will call us back, bring us back together through the gift of music.
I invite the ushers to start passing the baskets at this time. This congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We have been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or anywhere else, you are part of this community. To make a gift in support of the work of this congregation, you don't need to use the baskets that are now beginning to make their way among our pews. Wherever you are invited to go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out about how you can make a donation and keep up with your pledge. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of this community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. And now let us sing together once more. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing the Fire of Commitment, which you'll find in the Teal hymnal, hymn 1028.
Please, yes, be seated. Before we close this time of worship and reflection, a reminder that coffee hour will begin in Fellowship Hall immediately after this service. And yes, once again, this is Sunday, ice cream for everyone. If you are here for the first time or have been here before but still feel a little new, we invite you to pick up a green mug. They look like this and they hold a lot more. And then get coffee or tea from the main table. Other beverages are available at the counter. Your green mug will help us to recognize you as someone who is or feels new and allow us to greet you individually. We hope newcomers come back often. For those watching from home, an informal online fellowship hour will begin at noon. You can find the Zoom link on our website or in the EUU. You can subscribe to the EUU, our Friday afternoon email blast, on the communications page of the church's website. Also, leafy greens, courtesy of the good folks of Ajaski, are available for those who would like some from the grow towers in the old volunteer room out that way. And now, as we prepare to extinguish this morning's chalice, may these words from David Breeden be our guide. Let's be the welcome we crave, open hearts, arms outstretched. Let's embody radical welcome, unquestioning love. Let's be the welcome we crave, deeply hearing voices and hearts. Let's be the welcome we crave, enriching, understanding. Let us embody the community we crave. There we go. This morning's chalice is extinguished. The spark of our connections and faith remains. Jen, singers, will you bless us once again? As we sing together, Spirit of Life, in both English and then in French. We are people of both reason and heart, of both memory and hope. May we also remain people of love, providing a place in this world for our spirit, a place called simply home. And now, as we return to the challenge of helping the world come alive in love, let us go forward in peace, my friends. Go in peace.